back once again like the renegade master. Can we be sued for using song lyrics if we don't sing them?
It depends who sees this, really, doesn't it?
I don't think my mum's going to complain, to be honest.
No, she wouldn't sue us anyway, would you?
No. Not even if you give her a bucket of sand and sang the desert song.
Oh, yeah, a bucket of sand. Nice segue.
Thank you very much. I always wanted one of those because I thought they'd be really handy for getting around the school.
Not as good as you think.
Are they not?
No.
Oh well.
No.
This is Dune, or Dune. Based on Frank Herbert.
Yes, based on the books of Frank Herbert. Not so much based on the film of David Lynch, although we are big fans of David Lynch. He is awesome, but yeah, his film is visually very good, but quite far off the mark, unfortunately. But yes, this is based on the book. Who doesn't know about Dune? It's very hard to condense it into
My mum.
very hard to condense it into his mum. It's very hard to condense it into a small video. Yeah, it's what's the best way to put it? Space opera and politics. Lots and lots of devious politics.
There's a 14-year-old in like Kansas watching this going, "What's space opera? I don't like opera."
Okay, I'll let you take over.
We're
then.
talking to a different generation.
Yes, we are. Yeah, it may be lost on some of you. So yeah,
It's a board game that. Do you know what? Let's just look at it.
Yep.
If you need to know what Dune and Frank Herbert are, look them up.
And you'll get better videos online than us trying to explain it in this video.
Much better videos.
Much better videos.
Full
Yeah.
stop. Full stop. So this is by Galeforce Nine.
Who always knock out a good product.
Well, I was going to say sometimes they kick a duff ball around the pitch and people get very annoyed at them. Some people are annoyed about this. I should break this to you before we break the seal.
Yeah, this is true. Okay, now I have. Yeah.
Spartacus was a game that people got annoyed about. Doctor Who is a game that people did not get annoyed about.
No, it's very good. We're all on the same page with that one. Just fresh game smell. Do the honors.
So there was an original Dune board game, and this is essentially the original Dune board game from
reproduced with new artwork.
Yeah, from like the 70s and stuff like that there. But the artwork is very much reflecting the era and style of the original. As Justin mentioned, that whole space opera, that grandiose canvas of space where the technology isn't important. People press buttons and massive things happen, but you never get explained why they happen or how they happen.
Yes, technology beyond understanding. It's wonderful.
So,
okay, quick start guide. Let's start there. Oh, it's a fairly detailed quick start guide.
how come I always end up with the rule book?
Oh dear, okay.
I got the rule book again.
Wow.
The spice must flow. Oh yeah, the spice only comes from Arachnis, and the spice is this, essentially a drug that allows the navigators to fold space like Event Horizon style.
Travel without moving.
Yeah, so they pile all like their fleets into these giant tubular ships, and then the
Highlanders.
navigators make them disappear and then appear billions and zillions of miles later, and then all the little ships come out and they destroy or take over or colonize or do whatever.
Yes, it enhances them through rapid evolution so they can see through time. It extends your life and expands your consciousness. It's pretty funky stuff.
Because you can see the future, and then there's like the psychic witches, the Bene Gesserit witches, and it's like clans.
Yeah.
There's royal houses and clans
Yeah.
and guilds.
I mean, just going over from the cover of the Quick Start Guide, it covers the main six there. You got the Noble House Atreides and the Evil House Harkonnen, bitter enemies. You've got the Spacing Guild, who monopolise all travel through the universe. You've got the Fremen, who are the inhabitants of the one planet in the universe where the spice comes from. You get the Emperor, who's in charge of all the noble houses and pretty much everything going on, and then the Bene Gesserits, or the psychic witches, if you want to call them that, who have their fingers in every pie in what's going on in the galaxy, and they're trying to breed a superhuman through selective breeding. There's a lot going on in Dune. So it'll be interesting to see how this boils down in a game.
There's kind of, I always felt there's kind of a sort of a steampunk-esque thing going on with Dune.
Yeah, I mean, it's set in a very far distant future where a lot of technology has been outlawed. Artificial intelligence is gone, thinking computers. That's one of their sort of great beliefs. Thou shalt not create a computer in the likeness of a human mind. And yeah, they rely on more sort of swords and knives than blasters and so on. So
the slow blade passes the shield.
yeah, it's it's a very sort of swashbuckling kind of thing on one side, but it's also very tightly woven political strategy and intrigue. There's just lots going on.
It's Game of Thrones in space.
It's Game of Thrones in space with big worms.
That 14-year-old in Kansas now understands exactly what we're talking about.
Got it now, yeah.
Yeah.
We just cut the video now. It's Game of Thrones
There you
in
go.
space.
Game of Thrones in space. Buy it. That's all you need to
Galeforce
know.
Nine.
Hashtag Game of Thrones in space.
We're done.
Hashtag Stranger Things.
Okay, so here we have the character. Oh yeah. Okay. Advantages and disadvantages for every different clan. Oh my goodness, some of these, they're wildly different. Oh my goodness. Harkonnen, you excel in treachery. Well, if you ever read the book or seen the films, that makes perfect sense. Traders, at the start of the game when you draw 4 trader cards, you keep them all, including your own and any leader cards of other factions. Typically, Harkonnens are very, very treacherous. The Emperor has access to great wealth. I'm not going to read everything on these, but there's a lot of details.
Oh, and you've got such a beautiful reading voice.
No, not happening.
One of the complaints that I have heard is people go, oh, the tokens are so small. I'm not really getting. I mean, yes, these ones are small. These are obviously the different troop types. These ones are small. These are values for something value related.
They're
spice. Then these ones are big, and there's dials. There is the battle wheel. That looks interesting. There's another battle wheel, and then we've got shield wall destroyed, sandstorm, the worm. There's only one worm. That's shame. And then different character cards. So sorry, don't see a problem with the counters.
Yeah, the battle wheel actually is interesting sort of mechanic. Whenever this is all assembled, you can. Oh, there's space to put everything. Look
There's
at
a
that.
sorting tray.
Sorting tray built in. That's brill. Anyway, sorry, back to the battle wheel. Whenever this is assembled, you will select secretly a value on the battle wheel, and you will actually put in one of your different soldiers and sort of increase the value and gamble with that value against your opponent. So there's a wee bit of hidden bidding going on and sneaky strategy there. What have we got here? Kwisatz Haderach cards, the Super Being cards, Storm cards,
Worm cards.
Yes, the Storm is one thing that moves around the board that cannot be stopped.
Prediction cards.
Prediction for the Bene Gesserit. They are actually trying to, if memory serves from playing the original game a lot of years ago, the Bene Gesserit are trying to predict the outcome of the game in a certain amount of turns. Trader cards. Everybody has trader cards in their hand. The Harkonnen get more than anybody.
Oh, look, there's wee quotes from them all around the side.
Nice. Okay.
Hope clouds observation. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when my fear is gone, I will turn and face fear's path, and only the I will remain. Polish comes from the cities. Wisdom comes from the desert. He who controls the spice controls the universe. Nice. And yeah, again, the comment hot on the heels of the tokens are too small is because the board's so big.
It's not big at all.
Do I look big in this? That looks fine. I like yeah, it looks cute. It looks old school. Roger's going to love this.
Yes.
Roger's going to be like, oh, I have this in my bottom drawer.
He probably does.
Still shrink wrap from like 1958.
I don't recommend using teeth to open up plastic, kids. It's not advisable.
I had to do. Well, sorry, this video is not for kids anyway.
We don't have scissors.
Because it's about drugs.
This is true. At the centre of Dune is drugs.
Yeah,
The spice
right there.
orange. Just have a look at some of the artwork on the cards here. I mean, that reflects the board perfectly. The spice determines where spice blows are, and they're the areas you want to try and claim, because that'll actually increase your revenue of spice. Open the treachery ones there. I'll open the trader ones.
I see a las gun.
Yes, not many of them in the Imperium of the far future. Let's see. Come on now.
Didn't they like assault the city and everyone had las guns?
In the film, yes, in the film, but you know, las guns cannot be used against shields.
I had to watch the film, mate, because they haven't made like short versions of the books.
I've read all the books.
I can't read the book in 2 hours.
So in here, in the trader deck, we have one of every main character.
Did you watch the TV series?
I didn't mind the TV series. It was okay.
It wasn't Game of Thrones in space.
No,
it was
far from it.
It was like Spartacus in space at best.
Discount Spartacus in space.
Rome
at best. Yeah. Benny Gesserit cards. So yes, as I was saying earlier, these cards will have a turn number on it, and you have 2 predictions. You're trying to predict which faction will win and on which turn they will win. That will get you bonuses during the game.
Sorry, las gun,
Chris
knife, maul pistol, slip tip.
Slip tip. Oh dear. Oh dear.
It's a knife. It sticks in you.
Very little amuses him. Very little indeed.
Lucky in your case. Stunner.
No.
Stunner. Chimuggery. Shamuggery.
You'll get there. You'll get there.
I'm not going to bother getting there. So these are different draws.
Oh,
there's the jab finger.
Yep.
Shield, snooper. That's
Poison snooper, yeah.
The floating thing that tries to kill you in your room.
Okay.
There's lots
Sequence
of
of play.
cheap
card.
heroes. What's that? Is that some sort of sleep vat? Oh, you can.
Hylaxu Gola. That's for creating clones from dead tissue. They have some weird ideas in the far future.
No AI, but will clone you.
Yes.
Look, there's a donkey.
Worthless card.
Yeah, this card has no play value, and you can discard it when you're playing it on your battle plan. Weird.
We have 9 steps in the sequence of play. La la la. Battle cry. Step 1, the storm phase. The storm will determine where you can and cannot go. Step 2, spice blow and nexus phase. That's where the spice is going to appear on the board. Step 3, chome charity phase. Moving on. Step 4, bidding phase. 5, revival. 6, shipment and movement. 7, battle. 8, spice harvest phase. 9, mentat pause phase. Yes.
This is kind of nice. I'm liking this very quickly. Optional rules for alliances. Alliance restriction. Default alliance game. 2-player alliance limit. 4 strongholds to win. Creates a longer game. 2-player alliance limit. 3 strongholds to win. Creates a shorter game. 3-player alliance limit with 4 stronghold wins. A longer short game. 3-player alliance limit. 3 strongholds to win. Probably the shortest game. I just like the terminology. Any number of players in alliances. 3 strongholds to win. A more exotic game.
Exotic?
Exotic. What an
Funny
interesting
enough,
choice of word.
I just happen to have the alliance cards here, which have just been opened, and yes, I can actually see how being an ally to certain different groups could be a...
That exotic game is actually the original. The original Dune rules alliance game. Adversity creates ingenuity. Okay, so this is what they've done to kind of tweak the game for its modern audience. But then if you want to go old school, do that. That's a nice touch.
I will actually note, just spotting it on the side here, 120 minutes plus on a game. Probably conservative there.
That's 240 for us at best.
Yeah, it is a long game. I would say this is probably better if you're a fan of the source material, or at least a fan of the film.
If the mechanic is sound, and we have to hold the hands up, we haven't got playing. I
played the original, and
right.
This hasn't varied much from it. Again, I haven't played the new version, but apparently it hasn't varied much at all.
But it's very old school.
It's very old school, yes.
Right.
And there's a lot of blind bidding, secret bidding. There's a lot of sneaky, dodgy alliances going on, behind backs against other players, which sometimes don't actually come out until the last few steps of the game. It's quite a good sort of in-depth game.
I think it is one of those things, and maybe this has become almost Galeforce Nine's thing with the Doctor Who and stuff like that there, that if you're a fan, you're probably going to forgive things in this game because it's recreating something that you're very passionate and enjoy. But if you're not a fan of Dune, you're already starting off on a back foot, kind of going, so what's this even about? And then you're into a very convoluted mechanic and a very, very sort of archaic mechanic nowadays.
To be fair, I could fall into the former category, being a massive fan of the whole Dune universe, all the books, even the prequel books, written by Herbert's son, who continued on after his death. But I do like a good game mechanic, and if it's unchanged from the original game, it is a good game. But like I say, 120 minutes, I would say give it a bit more time. 2 to 6 players. You got to get 6 players on this. It doesn't play as well with 2. You can't really be as sneaky or as devious with 2 players. You need a group of players who can just jump right in and possibly understand the history and the mythology before they start playing.
2's probably going to be nice if this is new to you, to get your head around the mechanic.
Just to get your head around mechanic,
yeah.
But ideally I wouldn't play any less than 4 players.
It's not an expensive game to buy. Galeforce Nine seem to be managing to pack an awful lot into boxes these days, and they're not looking a clean fortune. And you know what, we've done several videos, we've chatted to a lot of people, and they are kind of balking at the 79, 80, 90 pound for a board game. Mm-hmm. Galeforce 9 are hitting the tables with games that are back at the 25, 30, 35, 40 pound mark. So, this is what that kind of price range of a game delivers to you. And if you're getting that amount of gameplay out of it, it's still quicker than Twilight of Fame.
Yes. And to be honest, for the content you're getting here, for the hundreds of tokens, the cards, the board, the rulebook, the insert, which is a nice touch, the player aids, it's good value. It is good, and it's going to get replayed more than a lot of big games. Big games are good, but sometimes the feeling of a big game is just far too many components, far too many varied components.
Yeah, well, this is reasonably straightforward, and you're going to fool people.
Yeah.
It's going to be, do you know what game of Dune? Oh, it's a small box. Will be done in
sure, that's a
40,
20-minute game.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah. 3 nights later. Do you concede? Yes, then I am now the emperor.
This is not a game you start at 10 o'clock at night. This is a game you probably wait for a big game Sunday and you reserve 3 hours for.
If you don't start a game at 10 o'clock at night, you never get to play any games.
Yeah, this is true.
But there we go. Dune, Galeforce 9. They do lots of things people like.
And Doctor Who.
People like Doctor Who. Shush! You and your mouth with words. Thanks for watching, kids. Except you're not kids, because we tick the box on YouTube now that says there's no content for children. But we're calling you kids in a general sense because you're young at heart. But there's drugs in this game, so it's not for a kid audience.
Game of Thrones in space. Galeforce 9, goodbye.
Game of Thrones, not for kids. Hashtag Stranger Things.